Right, let's start today's session. So in the last session, we were discuss operators in Python. So we have seen already different types of operators like identity operators, membership operators, logical operators, as well as assignment and relational operators, arithmetic operators we discuss. Now in this session, within few minutes, I'll discuss about bitwise operators, bitwise operators. Then after that, we will go through control statements in Python. That is very important concept. Sir, what is bitwise operators and where we use exactly bitwise operators? Bitwise operators are mostly used for low level, low level operations. Mostly used for low level operations. What are the low level operations? Like low level operation means networking, networking, hardware, hardware registers, hardware register operations, hardware register operations, and also for security, security that means encryption case, we can use bitwise operators. So I'm saying here most of the cases in our pure software development we will not use this bitwise operators. So bitwise operators are mostly used for low level operations like networking, hardware register operations, data compressions, security, encryption, and driver level code purpose we can use bitwise operators, we can say that. And bitwise operators are used for manipulating a data at the bit level. Bitwise operators are used for manipulating the data at a bit level. Bit level programming through we can manipulate the data. So bit level programming mainly consists of 0 and 1. Everybody knows that. Bit level programming mainly consists of 0 and 1. So they are used for numerical computing. Bit level programming mainly consists of 0 and 1. These are used these are used these are used for numerical computations. Numerical numerical computations for faster rate of calculating for faster rate of calculating purpose we can use bitwise operators. Okay, so but in our software development purely we will not use. Most of the cases in low level activities purpose only we can use bitwise operators, we can say that. This is actually bitwise operator purpose I'm saying here. What is the purpose of bitwise operator? Now coming to the thing, what kind of bitwise operators are there here? I'm going to list out and one by one I'll explain quickly. So bitwise operators are few types. One is bitwise and the symbol is clearly pipe symbol. Pipe symbol. Sorry, bitwise and the symbol is like this. Next one is bitwise R. Bitwise R. Bitwise R. The symbol is pipe symbol. Next one is bitwise 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 XOR. That means the symbol is exclusive OR, that is called cap symbol we can say. Next one is bitwise bitwise not. The symbol is tilde symbol. Next last left shift will be there. Left shift left shift. That means the symbols are like this. Next right shift. That means the symbols are like this. These are the bitwise operators are there. Bitwise and bitwise or bitwise XOR, bitwise not, left shift, right shift. But most of the programming languages already so many people knows that this bitwise operators how it will be internal calculation. But in Python, according to Python, actually manual calculations not required. Then automatically we can able to calculate bitwise, bit by bit operations we can do. So mainly here we are focusing how to convert a decimal form into binary form like zeros and ones. If I give some random number like 10 or 12, so you have to find out that random number binary values like zeros and one format I have to represent. That you have to know. At the same time, you can able to convert that zeros and ones into a decimal format also. Both I can show you. Manual calculation I can show, with programmatically calculation how it can be, I will show you clearly. But according to Python, I'm saying you need not to go for manual calculation directly, you can go there. But why I would like to show manual calculation means, for example, you can see this. I am taking here a value, what we can say 8, a value 8. So I want to know that binary form of 8. So there is a function called bin in Python, bin of a. So that means binary form of 8, automatically it will come here. You can see this. Whenever we execute this, binary form of 8, automatically it's coming or not. Let's check out here. So this is 0b stands for binary format. 1000 is the binary format of 8 only. But you may get doubt, so many people will ask the cross question, sir, how it came? So binary form of a 8 is how it came, sir. So they might be asked. So that's the reason here I'm going to discuss clearly how to calculate manually a number that is decimal form into binary form. So let's take a value 8 only. So let's convert that binary decimal form into binary form. You can see this, how to convert that. Let me open paint option for that. So before going to do this, I strongly recommend to you to take two value, 2 power 0. So why you should take 2 only? Because the reason is it is binary format. Binary means 0 and 1, 2. Next I am taking 2 power 1, 2 power 1, 2 power 0. Next 2 power 2. Observe carefully, 2 power 2. Next, I am taking 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 3. Sir, how long we can take like this? How long we can take like this? Okay, 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3. How long we can take? Depends on your value. So 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, like this, you can go to like this. From right to left only how to go there. And you know very well 2 power 0 value is how much it is? 1. And here 2 power 1 value 2, and 2 power 2 value 4, and 2 power 3 value 8. That's all. That is, the thing is simple. 2 power 0 is 1, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2 is 4, 2 power 3 is 8. So observe carefully. My requirement is I want to calculate a equals to 8. So next b equals to, for example, or 11 I want to calculate. So a value 8, then 8 binary form I want to calculate. So how to calculate 8 value binary form means it's pretty simple. Manually I'm saying, the manually wherever the 8 values appear, that will be location like 1 we have to make it, and remaining things are what? 0 0 0. Now observe here the binary form of a value 8 is 1000 or not? Yes, this is directly function through we are getting in Python, and this is manually I can able to calculate. And at the same time, if you want to calculate b value 11, binary form of 11 is how much? So which numbers if we add 11 will be there? Like 8 is there, 8 plus 2 10 plus 1 11. So in that three locations you should keep 1. Here it is 0, here it is 1, here it is 1. So why it is 1 0 1 1? So 8 value 1 because 8, 2 value 1 because 8 plus 2 10 plus 1 11. These three values if we add 11 will become. So in these three positions I took 1, and remaining positions by default what? 1 0 0 only here. So the binary form of 11 is 1011. If you want clarity, then we can go with the, suppose again you can take here b equals to 11. Now binary form of b I'm taking. So now you can see this, is this 1011 or not? You can cross verify. If you did correct or not, you can cross verify like this 1011. Same as it is, we are getting 1011. Sir, reverse, if you want to convert reverse, it's pretty simple. Reverse is how much? So 1000, how I can convert that into decimal form? It's pretty simple. So 2 power 0 into 0, 0, 2 power 1 into 0, 0, 2 power 2 into 0, 0, 2 power 3 into 1, 8. 8 is come. That's how. Like this you have to be calculated. At the same time, 2 power 0 into 1, 1, 2 power 1 into 1, 2, 2 power 2 into 0, 0, 2 power 3 into 1, that is 8. 8 plus 2 plus 1, 11. 11 only it's come. But my requirement is here. My requirement is here. So A binary form of A and B I want. So not, you can see this first bitwise operator I'm doing. Bitwise and I want to calculate. That means binary of A and B I want to do this. How I can do this binary of A and B? Let's see this first manually, whether we did correct or not. Let's check out through practically now. So binary of A and B I want to calculate means 8 and 11. So binary of 8 and 11 if you want to calculate. So for this process we have some truth table. Let me open some truth table here. So based on the truth table I'm going to calculate. So this is the truth table already I have maintained in my document. So let's open quickly. So based on the truth table, you have to calculate that binary form of A and B. How it is possible, you can see this quickly. So there is a, in this truth table, clearly A value, B value already mentioned. Now observe carefully. This is the A value, B value, A and B, A or B, A cap B, that is exclusive or tilde A means not operator. So you can see this, observe carefully. A value 1 and 1, 1 and 1. So A and B we are performing. So 1 and 1 we have to say in the truth table. 1 and 1 means how it is. Now you can see 1 and 1. 1 and 1 here you have to observe A and B. 1 and 1, 1. So you have to write it here 1 and 1, 1. At the same time 0 and 0. Yes, 0 and 0. You can say 0, 0. 0 and 0 how much value? 0. So you have to say 0 and 0, 0. Next 0 and 1 you have to calculate like this 0 and 1. Now 0 and 1 0. Now you can see 0 and 1 0 and 0 and 1 0. So this is called actually 1 triple 0 it's coming. So binary of A and B also 1 triple 0. Let's try to get it whether binary of A and B 1 triple 0 or not. So check out. So print binary of A and B. So it has to be get 1 triple 0 same. It has to be get 1 triple 0 same. Now you can see 1 triple 0 is coming. Yes. So we did correct format only. But my requirement is I don't want binary of A and B. So I want to get only A and B. I want to get what I need to get only A and B. To get A and B, so what we need to do 0 into multiply with 2 power 0, 2 power 0 plus 0 into 2 power 0 plus next here also 0 into 0 into 2 power 1 plus next here also 0 into 0 into 2 power 2 plus 0 into sorry 1 into 1 into it will take time but just here you can see 2 power 3. So this is what I'm converting this binary of A and B is 1 triple 0. I'm converting this binary form into decimal form. Only A and B I want. In that context, what I'm saying here, you can see this 0 into 2 power 0. 0 into 2 power 0 value is what here 0 plus 0 into 2 power 1 again it is 0 plus 0 into 2 power 2 that is also 0. Yes, plus 1 into 2 power 3 that is what's our 8. So A and B value is what 8 only. You can cross verified in the application. Only A and B I am doing print A and B, print A and B. So at the same way you have to calculate everything, sir, I'm saying. So this is A and B. A and B only 8. Print binary of A and B is 1 triple 0. Only binary of A is 1 triple 0. Only binary of B is binary of 11 is what 1011. Like this you have to calculate. Only we did what so far A and B, that means bitwise and you can take same bitwise or also. If you want to go with bitwise or Then we have to go with changes here. Now instead of A and B, I am doing bitwise binary format of ARB. I want to calculate first. Now you can see binary of ARB. I'm doing binary of ARB. Then binary of ARB, what is exactly? Let's check out based on the truth table here. So binary of ARB, I want to do this. So 1 or 1 we have to check out. 1 or 1. So in the truth table, A value 1, B value 1. Now you can see 1 or 1. 1, 1. R1 means here you have to observe in this cell. 1 or 1, how much value? Only 1 value. So let's take 1. Next 0 or 0. So 0 or 0, what is the value here? 0 here. Again you have to take here what's that? 0. Next 0 or 1. What is the value? You can check out 0 or 1. 0 or 1. So that is what? 1 we have to take that. 0 or 1, 1. So here 1, 0 or 1 and 0 or 1, 1. This is exactly binary of A or B. 1011. Let's check out binary of ARB 1011 or not. Let's check out here. Print binary of ARB. I can say that binary of ARB. That means 8 or 11. Directly values also I can apply, no problem. So binary of ARB is what's that? 1011. It is there. But only ARB I want. Only ARB. So how I can do that ARB? So only ARB we can say that ARB. ARB values how much it is. If you want same as it is, you can convert into decimal form. That is called 11. But here I'm taking this values, but you are getting same values again and again. So don't get confused. If you take different values, different calculation will be there. Okay. So for example, ARB I'm taking. So ARB I'm taking. Here ARB. They might be take values wrong, so no problem, it is correct calculation only. If you take any values, same procedure you have to follow, so calculation will be perfect. So 1 into 2 power 3 8, 0 into 2 power 2, 1 into 2 power 1, here it is what value here? This is 1 into 2 power 1, 2 only it will come here, and 1 into 2 power 0, 1 only it will come here. So the calculation will be same, sir. Actually here 2, and here it is 1, here it is 1. That's all. So this is ARB value. If we take values different, then result will be different. If you want, you can see this. I'm taking A value 13. Now you can see complete everything will be changed. 13 and 11. Different result will come. Now you can see 13 and 11. So different result. So only A value binary format 13 is 1101, 1011, and A and B is 1001. A and B only 9. A or B only 15. Values will be changed. So same calculation only I'm taking. So let's take 8 only because we are continuing with 8 only. So let's take 8 only, no problem. This is ARB. At the same time, you have to take like this. Here you can see XOR. That means exclusive OR. Cap symbol you have to use. So the cap symbol if I use means here I need to modify the things. So binary of ARB not. So I want to take A cap B. So this is the calculation, sir. So A cap B. So actually this calculation not required for you, but I want to show you as a programmer, just you have to know how to do this manual calculation, and not required manual calculation in Python. Automatically formulas are there, binary of A, binary of B, binary of A and B, ARB, like that you can apply directly, you will get values. But you know that you have to know that how it is coming the values. So that is the main important thing. That's what I'm saying here. Only A cap B I'm finding here. Now I can see ARB means these values are not correct. Let's move this A value ARB, this values, remove this. Now let's try to go with the truth table. One exclusive or one we have to find out. In the truth table context, 1 1. Here we have to observe exclusive or means this is the cell 0. 1 exclusive or 1 is 0. So I have to say that 0 here. Here we have to say 0. Next 0 exclusive or how much, you can see this 0 exclusive or 0 0 exclusive or is how much? 0 only, that is here you have to take 0. And 0 1, so 0 1 means here it is 0 1. Exclusive or means what? 1 only. So there will be two ones will come here, 1 as well as 1. Observe here binary of A cap B means 8 cap 11. How much it is? 0011. But in the result you can see this print binary of A cap B. So the result is clearly 1 1 it will come. So left hand side that zeros are there, no, so that won't appear here. So only 1 1 it's coming, 0 B 1 1. It's perfect. Now at the same time, only a cap b if you want to calculate, then we can calculate a cap b. So a cap b value is how much it is? I think that will be 3. So why? Because 3, the calculation will be like 1 into 2 power 0 1, 1 into 2 power 1 2, 1 plus 2 3, then 0 into 2 power 3, how much it is? Here it is 0 actually here. Now you can see it is 0 only, we can say that. This is 0 actually. 0 into 2 power 3, 0 value it is there. So this is called a cap b value, completely 3 value only, we can say that. So next we have bitwise NOT will be there. So there is a formula in the bitwise NOT. So in the truth table also you can observe here clearly in the bitwise NOT. So here zeros will become ones and ones will become zeros. Now you can see a value 0, not a means 1. A value 1, not a means 0. So that what's according to that formula here, some formula I'm giving here, not operator. For example, the formula is look like n equals to n equals not n in the sense what tilde operations minus of n plus 1, you can say that. This is the fixed formula will be there, minus of n plus 1. According to that values will come. So for example, in the calculation a value 8, I am taking print tilde a means minus of 8 plus 1, how much sir it is? Minus 9 will come. You can see this minus 9. At the same time b also minus of 11 plus 1 minus 12 will come like this. So this is about tilde a functionality what I'm giving, tilde a functionality. So this is tilde functionality like negation also we can call it as this is. So these are the bitwise operators what we discussed. Now next left shift right shift will be there. This is also pretty simple. Left shift means number of bits can move to left hand side. Right shift means number of bits can move to right hand side. So that number of bits, how many you have to decide. Let's cross verify left shift right shift, how it will be this. So before that, what I need to tell you, same value I'm taking 8 values, but I want to show you left shift and right shift in detail. Now observe here the 1000, sorry, let it be as it is, you can take, no problem at all. Let's remove this quickly. Now you can see I want to increase these values because my bits can move to left hand side ultimately. So that's what I'm going to move to left hand side, few more values according to your requirement. You can shift into any number of things. Now you can see 2 power 4 16, 2 power 5 32. So my requirement, why I took two increment values means I want to move left hand side 2 bits only. I want to move left hand side only 2 bits I can move to left hand side. More than more bits I can't move. So that's what 2 bits I want to move. If you want, you can take two more than 2 bits also, no problem at all. Clear. So now let's try to do this 2 bits move to left hand side. A value 8. Now I want to do a less than 2 means number of bits can move to left hand side. How many? 2 bits. So observe here, a value 8 means the binary form of 8 is 1 0 0 0. This is exactly binary form of 1 binary form of 8. But in this context, 2 bits can move to left hand side means the 1 will come to here the 32 position. Now 0 will come to 16th position and remaining 2 zeros will come into the 8th position 1 and 4th position 1. Am I right? 2 bits can move to left hand side. So after moving the 2 bits move to left hand side, then the result you can see this 32 into 1, 32 plus 16 into 0, 0, 8 into 0, 0, 4 into 0, 0. So a less than 2 is how much, 32 will be there. 32 will be there. Now after moving number of bits left hand side, you can check out here a less than 2, then automatically the number of bits can move to left hand side. You can see this 32 values come. How it is coming? Moving number of bits left hand side. At the same time, we can move right hand side. Number of bits can move to right hand side. For example, same this is 1000. I want to move to right hand side. That means a greater than 2. That means 8 greater than 2. So for example 1000, so 00, this 1 and 0 will come to the position of here 1 and 0, and remaining zeros will come to here in the right hand side. Now this values, no values here, no values. So that's what here 1 into 0, 0, 2 into 1, how much it is? 2. Then the thing is a greater than 2 is what exactly? 2, we can say that a greater than 2, that is what 2 only will come. So this is called left shift and right shift. How many bits if you want, you can move it, no problem. The value will be getting according to that only. But actually straight away, if I write this program by taking values, you can't understand what's happening internally. But actually in the Python context, according to Python, you need not to do this manual calculation. You need not to do this manual calculation. Automatically we can do this entire the things. Actually binary of a, if you want, you can directly binary function you can apply. Binary of b1, or else we can take any value, no problem. For example, all of a sudden for your requirement binary of 23 I want, so you can write binary of 23 function is there, then automatically run this, then you will be get binary of 23. That is what, how much value binary of 23, 10111 binary of 23. How it will come? Manual calculation, already I have shown that. Like this binary of a23 means 23 value, where it will be there, how many numbers if you add 23, that places 1 and remaining places 0, you can keep it easy. This is called left shift and right shift, all bitwise operators here. I'm saying that's what here bitwise operators in our software development we will not use, but just as a programmer you must know how calculation will be there. Even though in Python, so no need to focus the manual calculation, directly you can go for binary function, we can able to get that clearly here. So mostly used low level operations like networking, hardware register operations, security and encryption, data compression, and also numerical computation for faster rate of calculation only. These bitwise operators we can say that. Okay, yes, Python supports bitwise operators. Next, another thing is, so apart from this, I am going to move main important concept today, that is called control statements in Python. So please concentrate on this more. Control statements in Python. So without this, no logic in Python. So compulsory everywhere, everybody should use this control statements. Control statements. What is the meaning of control statement? The name itself, the definition is there. Control statements are used to provide control of your program. Means once we use control statements in our logic, we can have some control on it. We can have some control on it. Means as a programmer, we can control your program. Means what program, what logic need to be execute according to our condition. If my condition is like this, whenever my condition is like this, I need to execute some sort of code. Otherwise, I need to execute some other sort of code. In that context, we can use what? Control statements, we can say that. If we use control statement, we can have control on your program. Otherwise, you don't maintain any control in your program. So your program continuously keep on executing when we execute that. But sometimes entire the program not required to execute. Based on my condition, our program should perform activity, so that purpose we can use control statements. Control statements in Python, three types of control statements are there. One is conditional statements. Conditional statements. Conditional statements. Next one is iterative statements. Iterative statements. Iterative statements. Next one is transfer statements. Transfer statements. Transfer statements. Yes, three are different, sir. All are not same. Conditional statements, iterative statements, transfer statements. Conditional statements are only worked with conditions, based on conditions like if else, elif, or elif, or else nested if, nested if, nested if, then elif. These only will be there in the conditional statements. But there is no switch case in Python. Yes, there is no switch case in Python, sir. There is no switch case. If else, nested if, elif, only these conditional statements are there. There is no switch case in Python. Don't expect switch case from Python. Now iterative statements are two. One is for loop, next one is while loop. While loop. And there is no do while loop in Python. Yes, there is no do while loop in Python. Now coming to the thing, transfer statements are three types. One is break, next one is continue, next one is pass. These are all transfer statements. Already we know this break and continue in other languages like C, C++, Java, and C Sharp.net. Same here also, but here extra pass will be there. What is pass? I'll tell you clearly. First, we'll start with conditional statements. As the name suggests, like conditional statements are only work with based on conditions. Now I'm talking about if only. So what is if? If is a keyword especially. So it is used to check the condition. It is used to it is used to test the condition. It is used to test the condition. A specific condition only it will be test. It is used to test the specific condition. Specific condition. Next, if the condition is true, then only if block will execute. If the condition is true, then only if block will execute. The syntax of if block is if space condition colon. This is compulsory. This syntax you should follow in Python. This syntax only will be there. According to this syntax, you have to write the code statements. Any valid statements, we can make this block of code. So indentation compulsory required, sir, because if we use indentation, these statements are belongs to or related to this if condition. So if condition means it is used to test the specific condition. If the condition is true, then only if block will execute. Otherwise, nothing will execute. Otherwise, nothing will execute. Now let's check out. Let's check out a value 10. I am writing if a equals to 10. Then whenever my condition is true, then I need to say true. Let's run this now. This time what happened? You can see my condition is true. That's what it is going to be considered the if block. If my condition is false, like a value 100 I'm giving, 100 equal to 10, is it correct? No, it's not correct. 100 equal to 10 is not at all correct. That's what it is happening here. So nothing will be happen. You can see this, nothing will be happen, no condition. But even in this case also, sir, if condition is false case also, I need to show something to the user. Then we can use else block. Then we can use else block. That's what here if else will be there. If else and if same, only else block will be there. Else, then statements. Any statements we can use. If the condition is true, then only if block will execute. Otherwise, what block will execute, sir? Else block will execute. Otherwise, else block will execute. Else block will execute. This is very important. If statement, else statement, everywhere it will be useful to you according to our script. Compulsory. This is logical. But in my case here, condition is false. That's what I'm using else block here, and print false I'm using. Now let's run this now. What block is going to consider? Else block is considered. That makes sense. What here a value 100. I'm passing my condition here 100 equal to 10. It is equal to what's are here operator. What operator it is? This is relational operator. So already we discussed in the last session. So this is relational operator. So this will be false. False means control will jump into else part. But you may get doubt here. Sir, I want to monitor internally which block is going to consider here. Is that really consider if block or else block? So in that concept, for that concept purpose, we have a option called debug option in Python. Yes, debug is nothing but what you know. So line by line execution checking is possible. That is called debug concept. We can say that Python debug line by line execution. What's happened internally, whether my control is jump into if block or whether my control is jump into else block. So it will be checked. It will be checked. So how to do this debug means, first of all, you have to keep the breakpoint. So here and just click over with mouse. So red circle will be there. This is called breakpoint. Again, here I'm going to give the breakpoint here. Two breakpoints are there. So how to remove this breakpoint? Again, same. You just click over there and it will be remove the breakpoint. I'm click on this breakpoint here. Generally, breakpoint we can keep in the conditional blocks like logic code where it will be start. There we can keep the breakpoint. Here also you can keep the breakpoint, no problem. But this is not meaningful. Why? Because it's a print statement. So here it is, I want to check control is jump into if block or else block. I can able to check that by using keeping breakpoint. So after keeping breakpoint, so you just right click on this tab test1.py. As usual, you can generally how to run this run test1, but don't run test1 now this time. If you want to monitor your code, then you can go with debug test1 now. You can see, click on debug test1. So once I click on debug test1, in the bottom corner of PyCharm window, you will be able to see this debugger tab, debugger window will be there. So already a value assigned, a value is having like 100 value assigned to a. Now you can see after control will jump into if block, just click with mouse on a. So a is 100 and click with mouse on equal to symbol, that it is returning what's a false value. It's completely false. That means 100 equal to 10 is false. So here it is also false. So if you want to move to next line immediately, I strongly recommend to press function key plus F8 star from your keyboard. If you want to move to next line like this, keep on executing one by one. If you want to cross verify, so function key plus F8 you have to press. So control is holding here in this line. If you want to move to next line, function key plus F8 I am pressing in my keyboard. Now you can see control will jump into which block? Immediately else block. Again press function key plus F8, then it will be jumping out of the loop, out of the block. But where is my outputs are? If you want to see your output, then you can press console tab in the bottom corner. You can see false is there now. So you can able to clearly monitor that where control is jumping. Let me check again once again. Now this time I'm making my condition is what we can say, a value 10, a value 10. Now a value 10. Now again once again I'm starting debugging. Now right click on test1.py, debug test1. Now here debugger window started clearly. Now check out a value 10. Just click with mouse a value 10, click with mouse here a value 10, a equal to 10, that is true. Then true means whenever I press function key plus F8, where it will be jump, control will jump into if block. Then again when we press F8, control will not jump into else block print statement, it will be ignored, because as per my requirement, if the condition is true, then if block will execute. If the condition is false, then else block will execute. But here in my case, condition is going to true. That's what whenever I press F8, then it will jump into out of the block. Then console window will return what's a true statement. It is there. This is called simple if else block. So this is what checking the debugging process exactly here. So it is very important. For example, if you want to accept employee values, employee details at running time, so before going to accept employee details at runtime, you have to check the employee age, whether employee age is correct between range. Then we can able to accept the employee details. Otherwise, I don't want to accept the values. In that case, if else condition, we have to use that clearly. Okay. So for example, one more logic I'll tell you. Uh, at the same time, so I'm giving my number is 8, but I want to check this 8 number is even number or not. It's pretty simple logic everywhere, even number or not. How we can write the condition? If a modulus 2 equal to 0, if a number modulus 2 equal 0, then what is that, sir? Is even number. Otherwise, what is, we can say that is odd number. So let's run this program as it is. A value 8, so 8 modulus 2 equal to 0, then perfectly there, then that's what it is even. For example, my number is 9, 9 modulus 2 equal to 0, not remainder is not 0, so that's what it is, odd. It's pretty simple logic, understand? Yes. For example, sir, here is odd, is even, it's coming, but my output also should be there with values like 9 is even, 9 is odd, like that I have to say that. So at that time we can say a comma, here a comma we can use. A is your input value, no? So yes. So now we can see this time 9 is odd, or else you can change the value 8 is even, like this you can able to get this 8 is even, like this. So this is what checking condition. But why don't we accept value at runtime instead of giving straight away? Yes, we can accept value at runtime. Int of input of enter, enter a value, enter a value, enter a value. User will enter the value. Based on that value, it will check whether it is even or odd. Now you can see my number is 62. Then it's going to be even. My number is, for example, 7, input value is 7, then it is what? Ed, yeah, odd number, you can say that. And at the same time you can able to check, so you can also input a parameter, like suppose int I'm removing, input I'm using, so enter name. I want to check. So name. So let's take name variable here, just variable. If name equals to Mohan, then I need to say what we can say. I need to say what we can say. Hello, hello, hello. I have to say hello to name. Otherwise, then what I need to say, good boy. To what name? I need to say name. If name equals to Mohan, then what I need to say? Hello, I have to say. Now let's enter at runtime. For example, I'm entering Durga. Goodbye, Durga. Else part is executing. Yes. For example, I'm entering now this time Mohan. Now hello Mohan, it's coming. So this is called if else block. We can say that. And now one more logic. If you want to find biggest of two numbers, yes, it's very simple. Biggest of two numbers means two numbers you have to accept at runtime. Number one, I would like to accept a value, int of input of enter num1. Understand? Yes. Now b value, int of input of enter num2. Enter num2. But my requirement is what? Which one is the biggest number I have to find out. So it's simple condition I have to write. If a greater than b, if first number is greater than b, then what I need to say? Simply a is big. Otherwise, what I need to say? Simply b is what, sir? Big, we can say that. That's all. It's pretty simple logic, no? B is big. B is big. You can also find out biggest of three numbers also, but I'll not write code. I'll give you task, that is later. Okay. So I'm entering first number 3 and second number 1. Then 3 is big value, it's coming. And at the same time, you can see this first number 1 and second number 9. Then 9 is big value, it's coming. It is simple logic. We can say that this is called if else condition. We can say that if else. So this is if else statement. Everywhere this condition is clear. If block only will execute when the if condition is true. Otherwise else block will execute, sir. Okay. If condition false, if you want to show something to the user, then else block statements are required. And next, nested if is there. Why nested if? What is the required? Nested if is used to test multiple conditions, not one conditions. Nested if is used to test multiple condition. We can say that nested if is used to test multiple conditions. If one condition is wrong, I need to go with other condition. Even if that wrong, then I need to go with other condition. In that context, we can use nested if. Nested if is used to test multiple conditions. The definition of nested if means what? A if block or else block which is having one or more if else blocks is called nested if. We can call it that. Yes, generally we can call it as if within the if or else within the if. That is called nested if, we can consider. So let's try to do this word here. I'm giving my a value equals to 10. Just I'm giving a value equals 10. My condition is if a greater than 20, then what I need to do? Print here condition 1 is true. Yes, condition 1 is true. Else then again I'm checking one more condition. If k greater than 15, then what I need to do? Condition 2 is true. I can say that condition 2 is true. Then else, finally what I need to do? Condition 3, all are false. All conditions are false. Better to write all conditions are false. We can say that. This is about nested if. A if block or else block which is having one more if or else is called nested if. Now you can see a value 10 I decided. Control will jump into here. 10 greater than 20. 10 greater than 20. Is it true? No. It will go to else block. Again after else block it will check 10 greater than 15. No. Again it will go to else block. So like this. Let's keep the breakpoint. Check it here clearly. which block is executing. Observe carefully how to keep breakpoint, and after that right click on test.py and debug test1. So once you start debugger window will be start in the bottom corner of the PyCharm editor. You can able to cross verify the variables also here, how the value will be assigned, what is happening here. Now a value 10, I'm click on here the condition. So it clearly says like false condition. As soon as when we press function key plus F8, control will jump into else block, and in else block one more if condition is there. I'm testing there a value 10 greater than 15, even it is also false, it will jump into else block. So that's what in the output case console all conditions are false, it is coming. For example, here I'm taking my condition is changing now. So my condition is like 9, so 10 greater than 9, it's okay. So what's happening, we can see this. Let's debug test1. Now same, this condition is false. Once if condition is false, then control will jump into else bot, and else block one more if is there. Then if it is condition true, then what happen, you can see this condition is true, then condition 2 is true. And if one of the if condition is true, then else block will not chance, so else will not execute, it will ignore. By pressing F8, now you can see control will jump into out of the loop, out of the block. Then condition 2 is true, it is coming. Condition 2 is true, it's coming. For example, what happens are if the condition here itself, here only the condition true, one of the first condition is true, will it go to else? No, it will not jump into else block here. Here only it is going to be tested, no condition. So that's what there only it is going to stop. Now let's check out. Directly you can run it, no problem. Debug not required. Condition 1 is true. But this control will not jump into here, and this is not going to check. If one of the if conditions true, then our requirement is satisfied. No need to check multiple conditions, other conditions. That's what it is not going to internally of else block here. This is nested if, we can call it as. You can include any number of what we can say if else block within that. If else, like if within the if also you can able to do this, no problem at all. So that is called nested if, we can say that. And next you can see elif is there. Actually, if, else, elif, these are all keywords exactly. If, else, elif, these are all what's are keywords exactly. Elif keyword, when do we use? Elif is stands for actually else if, but there is no else space if in Python. Now, what if I want to prove both the statements are right? Yes, we can use and. We can use and operator, how to use. Okay, we can use and. So that means, for example, my value is within the what we can say. I want to find out biggest of three numbers. So first number, second number, three number we enter. So I'm going to give that task. That's what I'm not going to disclose that. And first we have to enter a value a greater than b and also a greater than c. Then only a is big, we can say. In that context, we can use AND operator. Both conditions are satisfied, then AND. I'll let you know that. Just wait. So elif keyword, when do we use exactly here? Elif keyword. Elif keyword means else if exactly. So when we use, we will discuss now. One program I will tell you clearly, but make sure that whichever I'm writing the program now, this is not a nested if, only simple if I'm taking. X equals to int of input of enter number. One number I'm expecting at running time. I'm checking that condition. If x equals to 1, then what I need to show ONU1 print. Next, if x equals to 2, then what I need to show TWO2. Then if x equals to 3, then print THREE. This is what my requirement. At last, if x equals to 4, then print sorry, then print FOUR we have to use. Finally, if not entered valid number, then I need to go to else block. So I have to say invalid number. But don't think so. This is nested if. It's not at all nested if. These are just multiple ifs are there. Nested if is nothing but if within the if. That is called nested if. But it is not nested if. It is only just normal ifs conditions. But we have more than one ifs. My requirement is what, my number is 1, I have to print 1 in the output. If my number is 2, I have to print 2. If my number is 3, then I have to print 3 like this. If my number is other than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, any number, then invalid number I have to use. That's all. Straightforward conditions. If I give 9, undoubtedly 9 is invalid number. So happily it is coming invalid number. Okay, it is invalid number. It's completely invalid number. It is perfect. Invalid number. Now let's run this one. If I enter, okay, 4. Yes, exactly FOUR it's coming according to my requirement. It's coming clearly. But observe here, this is the problem actually with the multiple if conditions. Now, 1, if I enter my number is 1, my input is 1. ONU 1 is there, again invalid number also it is there. Why it is there, sir? Again invalid number. And at the same time, not only in this context to one context, two context also, you can see this 2 and invalid number. 3 and invalid number. Understand? But why not, sir? It is 4. If I enter, then why it is not invalid number it's showing? Yes, observe carefully. Whenever I enter first number 1, 1 equals to 1 is correct, then it is print 1. But exactly according to the conditions, according to programming part, if one of the if condition is tested true means other if no need to check. But what's happening here, if one of the if condition is true means if I enter one number 1 equal to 1 true, or any 1 is printing, even though it is going to test the next condition 1 equal to 2, obviously it is false. Again it is check next condition 1 equal to 3, it is false. Again it check next condition 1 equal to 4, it is false. Because of these 3 false statements or any one of the false statement, control will jump into else block. Okay, but why it is not showing invalid number in the context of 4? Because fourth condition is immediately of else block. So for example, I enter input is 4, 4 equals 1 false, 4 equals to false, 4 equals to false, 4 equals to 4 true. True means it is only execute. But if we, you know that very well, if one condition, if condition is true, then else block no chance. So that's what it's not coming. So that the reason is what actually when we have multiple if statement. Now I will show you with the breakpoint. You can check out here. When we have multiple if conditions, now debug test, my input is for example 1, my number is 1, I'm giving, just enter. Now you can see x equals to 1, 1 equals to 1, it is true, absolutely it is true. Press F8, it will jump into ONU1, it's good. But actually control should stop here only, but control will continue with the next condition also testing. Now you can see x1 equal to 2, absolutely it is false. Again, even though it is false, now you can see it is checking, again it is checking. Because of these other conditions are false, else block there is a chance. So that's what else block it is coming invalid number, ONU1 and invalid number it's coming. Understand? Yes. But observe here, to avoid this context, we use what keyword? elif keywords are here. Elif keyword. So what is the speciality of elif keyword, you know? So the speciality of elif keyword is one of the if conditions true out of multiple ifs, then remaining ifs will not be checked. So that's what I'm using elif here. Then invalid should come 3 times, right? No, 3 times not. Why it is 3 times invalid? Last choice goes to invalid actually. 3 times will not. Every if is don't have else. We have only else last one. Okay, you can observe here. After checking one by one condition, last it is goes to else only. But remaining all are false. Then else block only will be there. Every if we don't have any else. Only one else I maintain. One else I maintain. If we have every what we can say else block, yeah, that's what. Every if it is having else block, then that every time else block will execute here. That is separate blocks of code. So to avoid this, what we are using, elif I'm using, elif, here also elif. That means what is the advantage of else if elif keyword here? If any one of the condition is tested true, then remaining ifs will not be checked out. So the output will be very clear. Now you can see if I enter 2, then 1 it will be checked, it is false. If it is false, absolutely it has to check the further condition. Now it will go to 2, 2 equal to 2. then it is correct. If it is correct, then TW only, then it will stop the execution. It will not check third condition. It will jump into out of the block of code. Now enter two values only coming here. But previously TW is came and also invalid number it got. And ONE1 came and also invalid number we got. THREE came, then invalid number came. So because of what? We don't use, previously we were not used elif keyword. So this is the speciality of elif keyword, we can say that. Elif is nothing but else if. But according to Python, now you can see here I'm using else space if means it will give error. There is no else space if. So elif is the short form of else if only. You have to use elif only. If you want to use else if condition in Python, we have to use elif actually here. This is called elif statement, we can say that. Understand? This is elif. So this is if else, nested if, elif, what we discuss. So this is very simple code I have. So in this context, you can see if I entered invalid number, so invalid number like 8, so absolutely invalid number only it's coming. So whenever I enter proper value, then now you can see proper value means 0, 1 or something, it is coming 1. On invalid number, it's not coming. That means else block will not check. So the main purpose of this elif is if any one of the, yes, we can write multiple condition, no problem. But my requirement is if one of the condition is true, then remaining conditions I don't need to check. It's not required also. That's the case. We can use what actually elif keyword we can use here. This is conditional statements. These conditional statements purely worked based on the conditions only, sir. Based on the conditions only, sir. Here. So this is conditional statement only we discussed today. Now in next session we will be discuss iterative statements. Iterative statement. Now you can see these are the iterative statements. Iterative statements are for loop and while loop. This is also very important. Okay, nested loops also we will discuss. Iterative statement means we have some huge number of values. 100 values are there. 100 values if you want to print. Okay, but we can't use 100 times print statement. No, that's what we can use for loop. For loop, only one loop is enough. Continuously 100 values it will come. So to reduce the length of the code and we can write short form of the code, then we can use loop. Suppose 100 employees are there in the database and I want to display one by one employee record. Then how I can loop through I can do that. Iteration through I can do that. Iterating means one by one. This for loop and while loop are iteration statements. In Python, we can't expect any do while loop. In Python, we don't have any switch statement. And here transfer statements means break and continue and pass. These three and these two loops we will be discussed in next session, that is tomorrow at the same time. But just wait, don't go anywhere. I'm going to give two programs as a task. Okay, no force, just with your interest you can do if you want. And just because of I'll come with my code and you also come with your code. You have any doubts we can discuss, no problem at all. Because if I give task, then people will come with different codes so that you can able to observe how the logic can be right. Same program in different ways they might be right. So that's what I'm expecting. So the question number 1 I'm giving to you, it's very simple based on our if else only, but we can use operators and operators you have to use. Okay, so what is the question number means? Write a program to find the biggest of three given numbers. That's simple actually. Write a program. Second question also I'm giving. Write a program to find. I have shown that clearly to find biggest of two numbers. You can write the code biggest of three numbers. Write a program to find biggest of three numbers. The three numbers also you have to accept at runtime, sir. Okay, runtime in the sense a b c values you have to accept input values and you have to check the condition. If a greater than b, some AND operator you have to use. Operator concept already we discussed. This is the question number 1. And question number 2 is write a program to check whether the given number is whether the given number is between 1 and 100. 1 and 100. You have to give input number your enter number is with between 1 and 100 or not, you have to check. This is also if else only. Again, I'm not giving any other programs as a task. What I discussed today, just if else condition based only, I'm giving that. Write a program to check whether given number is between 1 and 100. If your number is really 1 and 100, you have to say true, or else you have to say else. Write a program to find biggest of three numbers. These two programs I'm copying in the chart box. You can also take from chart box, no problem at all. These programs you have to write and come with that. So now you have any doubts regarding this session, whatever we discussed so far. So now you can able to ask me, no problem at all. That's all about today.